Today we're going to be experimenting on one of our favorite keto-friendly products. A couple months ago, Sarah and I came across an Instagram ad that piqued our attention, and that was for IMMI Ramen. We went and purchased this and tried it in a video where we tried to recreate Panda Express's chow mein, and it was delicious. I always have this in my pantry, and later on I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite meals that I have been making with this a couple times a week. A lot of you guys tried IMMI and loved it so much and were asking, what else can I do with these noodles? And we said, I don't know, actually, that's a great idea. Let's search the internet to see what we can find. And while some of the suggestions looked really good, others looked quite suspect, including ramen truffles and a ramen apple crisp, which we will not be trying today or ever, probably, because these noodles can be a bit pricey, but they're worth it. So I continued on my search to try to find a recipe to try today, and I came across ramen carbonara. And while Sarah and I are fans of Italian food and carbonara, we haven't had some in a very long time because Sarah and I have been living a technically keto lifestyle since January of 2019, and we've lost over 160 pounds. But carbonara is not something I've actually made before, because I heard that the technique is something that you have to get your mind around because you are pretty much making a sauce in the noodles. And if you didn't know this, technique is where we really shine on this channel.
Yeah, and then you push it all the way.
So we're going to be leaving links in the description. If you click more underneath the video, you will expand the video description and find all the links having everything to do with us, this channel, and everything that we use. And if you guys are watching YouTube on the TV, which is how we watch YouTube, you can scan this QR code with your phone's camera, and it will open up the link to this. We have made this for this video. This is a new technology that we're trying out, you know? One of the great things about carbonara is that the recipe's ingredients are fairly simple, but all of the ingredients have such a bold flavor that they're gonna make a really delicious sauce for our noodles. We really encourage you to try the IMMI Ramen. This is not a sponsored video, guys. We are purchasing this on our own. But if you don't want to buy IMMI Ramen, you could try any other keto-friendly pasta replacement that you want. But just be wary of liquid going into this because that can affect the sauce. You're going to be needing noodle of your choice, like I said, Parmesan cheese, an egg, and an egg yolk, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and you're going to need 2 slices of bacon, and peas. Do you hear that? It's a siren in the distance coming towards us. It's the keto police. Listen, this is like a tablespoon of peas. I love peas. I grew up eating them. Just peas and butter. You know what I mean? A cup of peas has about 12.5 net carbs per serving, and we're literally going to be using a couple tablespoons, which is like 1 or 2 carbs. It's going to give it the color that we need. It's going to make it look legit. And Sarah and I, we live a technically keto lifestyle. We incorporate stuff like this because, you know what? It lets us live a little. We're going to have a couple peas. Let's talk about these IMMI Ramen. They come in a variety of different flavors. I've tried a lot of them. The Tom Yum shrimp one is really, really good. This is the spicy beef flavor, which I always buy 12 of because I like it a lot. In this package, you will find the individually packed ramen noodles and a spice flavor packet. We're not going to be using the spiced flavor packet today, so I always keep these, and sometimes I will just drink it as a broth with some hot water. You could drop some eggs in there and make kind of like an egg drop soup too. Really, really good. Don't throw these away. They're full of flavor. This is a plant-based product that has 21 grams of protein and 5 net carbs per serving, and it has about 300 calories for the spice packet and the noodles, but we're only gonna be using the noodles today. They do have a slight green hue to them, but don't let that stop you. So there's pumpkin seed protein in this recipe, and I do believe that gives it a little bit of that green hue. So we are going to be cooking them for 7 minutes because you want them to have a little bit of a bite to them. We are going to be tossing them in a sauce, but if you want them to be soft, you can cook them for 9 minutes. I watched the instructional video, and they made it look like scissors was going to be some kind of easy way to cut the bacon, and now I'm switching to a knife.
Maybe because you didn't have to use a cutting board, less cleanup.
You look concerned. There are places where this can go wrong, including turning our egg Parmesan spice mixture into scrambled eggs, which would be bad. In essence, you're going to be making a thick sauce because the eggs are supposed to thicken it and coat the ramen and stuff, but it just might turn into an omelet. That's what I'm worried about.
Ramen omelet.
I mean, we're still gonna eat it. Our bacon looks cooked. There's 1 minute left on the noodles, 45 seconds now. We have to take some of this boiling water that cooked our noodles and we need to take that and put it into our pan with the bacon bits. So I poured in a couple tablespoons of olive oil into our bacon and drippings and I've scraped it. And then you're gonna wanna remove that from the heat because we're gonna be pouring water into this and you probably should not be pouring water into hot grease. You know what I mean? I'm going to take 1/4 of a cup of this water and I'm gonna put it aside. I'm gonna drain this now. Please don't start a grease fire.
It won't.
Oh. Now we're gonna add in our ramen.
Or is it the egg?
Nope. Now I'm gonna add in our ramen. All right. The heat is still hot, okay?
The heat is hot.
Yeah,
Who would have known?
the pan is still hot. This pan is very good at retaining heat, by the way. Okay, so you're gonna take your eggs. You have 1 egg and you have 1 egg yolk. You're gonna add in your spices and your Parmesan cheese, and you're gonna whisk it all together until it's fully combined. This is like a slurry that's gonna turn into the sauce. Now I have to add it into the pan. You add it onto the actual pasta.
Okay. Very specific.
You don't add it into the pan because you don't want it to turn into scrambled eggs. It hits that pan. Now we're gonna toss it into the pasta. The pasta is warm.
The residual heat is cooking the eggs.
Right. So this is not raw eggs that you're eating. See, it is starting to thicken.
So make like a line to see how thick it is, yeah.
It's thickening for sure. Looks like we have a successful
Carbonara.
Mm-hmm. I've never made it before. Quite exciting. And then we're just gonna add 1 to 2 tablespoons of peas.
For some color.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Brightens it up immediately.
There. What is that, 20 peas? If you're triggered by Henry, which some of you are, time to look away. And by the way, he shakes when he's excited about food. So do we.
Wow, this smells like a carbonara.
Mm.
I've made it before with spaghetti squash, which was a pretty good substitute. Yeah, it was pretty simple to do. You just have to keep your eye on it. You can't walk away, otherwise you might have a scrambled egg omelet ramen style situation. Yeah. These noodles really do hold up to the sauce. The sauce is clinging to it. Very rich. The carbonara is very rich with the egg and the Parmesan.
Insert clip of Sarah complaining that I got more bacon and peas than she did.
Well, she does. Why does yours look better than mine? What is the difference here?
We can switch.
Yours has more bacon on it. I have 1 piece of bacon. Emily has more peas. I'm kidding. I don't want it. I don't want the pity plate.
You're right, though. The bacon distribution system was off today.
All the flavors are there.
Yeah.
The noodle is this al dente? I don't really know Italian like your husband does, but these noodles do take longer than normal ramen noodles to cook, so just be aware of that.
And, you know, we only split 1 bag of noodles, so we're eating half of a portion each. But I just love that the ingredients are so common and simple, minus the noodles. It's just something that you can whip up if you're feeling like you want Italian food. Keep some bacon in the freezer. All you need is 2 slices. A bag of peas that will last you a year if you're using a couple of tablespoons at a time. Parm and eggs.
And I guess this just proves that this ramen is kind of versatile and you can use it in many different applications, which is great because I feel like you buy something specific like ramen noodles, you expect to only be able to use them like that, but this worked out really well.
So I just love that this is another way that I can enjoy those noodles. And whether it's eating it like a soupy ramen worth a packet traditionally, the other way I like to use it is kind of like what we did with the chow mein, but I'll slice up a bell pepper, an onion, and then I'll cook the ramen separately. I add a couple tablespoons of soy sauce, some olive oil, I mix that all together. And then I add in the spice packet and mix that in all together. And then I will cook up a couple of eggs, like I'll scramble them in a different pan and kind of put that on top. And then I just load the whole bowl with kimchi. I don't know if you like kimchi.
I do. I like it, yeah.
Kimchi is like one of my new favorite things, and it's really vinegary and spicy. And so I will just have a giant bowl. It looks like a rainbow when I have it. I will just put a couple tablespoons of green onion on top. I have that meal at least once a week. We try a lot of products on our channel, but I really like this one. We just like trying new things here on our channel. That's why we have fun making content. And if you guys like this type of video, please consider subscribing. We are really hoping to get to 250,000 subscribers this year. Subscribing is free. All it is clicking a button, but it really does help support our channel. You know, this carbonara dish is making me really want some Olive Garden. We actually made a video about it, and it was a bunch of fun. We used a hack that we use here all the time on our channel. You can click right here, and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins, signing out. I have some peas left. I love peas. So like a little element of spring. I got made fun of in kindergarten.
Why?
When I got traumatized by my teacher for saying that my favorite food was, in fact, peas.
They made fun of you?
Everyone laughed, including the teacher. Yep. The things you remember of your childhood.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I remember them splitting us up in kindergarten, and I think I bit my teacher.